my gosh, it's been a while. I've kind of forgotten how to record these things. Hey everyone, it's me Kiki and welcome back to my channel. So it has been literally 3 months since I last filmed a video. I am definitely rusty, so if I and ah during this video, please forgive me. It has definitely been a long time and I feel slightly awkward again sitting back in front of the camera. So yes, bear with me. But where have I been, you may be asking? Health not too great, don't want to get into it too much. I kind of mentioned it a little bit on my Instagram, but I don't really want to go into too much detail because it would just make this video even longer than it already is going to be. But yeah, so I am back with a haul video. I know I promised a rewind and review episode. It's been a tough couple of months, so I haven't had a chance to record it. I haven't had the energy or anything like that, so it's coming. I know I keep promising it and I keep breaking the promises, but please forgive me, I'm literally the worst manga tuber ever, like ever. So yeah, I do apologize. Anyway, so I am back with a haul video. Now it's been 3 months since I done my last haul video. I know I was going to kind of rein it in a little bit with the spending, but with being sick I kind of ended up spending more, even though I didn't intend to do that, which is probably one of the worst things I could have done. I like, honestly, if you could see this in front of me, in fact let me get my phone out so you guys can actually see what is in front of me right now. So this is my setup right now. So hi everyone. And this is the devastation on my bed. It's gonna be a long video, but yeah, I spent way too much money and I'm rambling way too much. So I got some anime and only 2 DVDs really this time around, but a crap ton of manga. Some new stuff, some old stuff, some used, some new. But yeah, let's just kick it off with the anime. First off is 2 movies. This one was gifted to me from my parents, and that is the One Piece film Gold. Now this has been out for quite a long time in the US, but it only recently got a release in the UK. So I was super happy to actually pick it up. However, having watched it, it's probably one of my least favourites that I own. I feel like Film Z, I think it is it Film Z? Or Strong World, I like a lot more than this. This was kind of meh for me. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. The whole concept, the villain, I didn't get it. I don't know, it wasn't my favourite. Yeah. On the other hand, this one, Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. Oh my gosh, this was so beautiful. It follows a girl called who names herself Josie, and she is in a wheelchair and she meets this guy and he becomes kind of her carer and he looks after her, and she's very much a closed in type of girl, and he kind of steps into her world a little bit like A Sign of Affection kind of, and basically opens up her eyes to a world that she's never seen before because her grandmother's very overprotective. And yeah, it was a really beautiful film. I actually I may have teared up, I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of drama, there was a lot of emotions just circulating throughout the entire film, and it was so good, and I definitely recommend it. I do believe this might actually be based on a light novel. Let me know in the comment section down below if that's the case, because like, I'm not sure, but all I know is that I really enjoyed this. Honestly, if this was a manga, I would buy it. It was so good, so good. So let's move on to the manga portion. I'm going to categorize them into publisher because it's just so much easier. No surprise really, I've got a crap ton from Shoujo Beat. So yeah, I'm super excited to get to that. But let's start off with the publishers that I've got less of, and that would be, I believe it's Seven Seas. Yeah, 2 volumes from Seven Seas. So kicking off this manga portion would be 2 kind of smutty, potentially problematic series, and that first one being Bite Maker Volume 4. Now, I have read this is an Omegaverse series. It's definitely not for everybody. I'm not gonna lie, after reading Volume 4 I definitely read ahead online, but it's fine because I'm gonna pick them up because I really want to know what happens, and I will definitely be rereading this series in the future. This is a hot mess. This is a hot mess. This is not for everyone. When I've read on ahead, there's definitely some themes that could be quite triggering for certain people, for a lot of people actually. There's attempted sort of like sexual assault and maybe sexual assault. We're not quite sure later on in the series. But I am so invested in this series, so invested in the characters. Like, I kind of feel sorry for our main female, who's an Omega, I believe she is, Noelle, who is an Omega. I just feel so sorry for her. She's tried to hide the fact that she is for her entire life, and one of the alphas has found out, and it's just a complete mess. And also we've got like 3 different alphas. Let's just say they are not all what they seem, certainly later on in the series, and I was shook. I was shook to my bones from what I read further down the line. So definitely one to keep an eye out on, but again, not for everybody because of the themes later on. So yeah, bear that in mind if you're going to go into this. But I am invested. I am in it for the long haul, and I cannot wait to see what happens because I'm a mess. I'm a degenerate, as Caitlin likes to say it from Kate Tins. I'm a degenerate and I can't help it. I like it. I just like reading like messy romances. It is what it is. Talking about messy romances, this is not for everybody at all, but the Holy Grail, if you guys have been watching the Manga Dudettes live streams, you guys will know what this is, and that is volume 3 of Fire in His Fingertips. Oh my god, give me a fan and get out that wet floor sign. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. This guy is beautiful. This series it's a mess. There's some dubious parts in this where there is issues with consent. I can't even open up this volume because it's all uncensored, so I shan't be doing that. But again, I didn't know if I was going to be able to collect this because it went out of stock for like the longest period of time. So I'm not going to lie, I have definitely read up to almost the most recent chapter online because I'm obsessed with this series. This bloke is my husband though. Like, let's come off it. Look at him. He is a beautiful specimen of a man. But yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess. This is a fun old time. Like, Seven Seas Ghost Ship title, you know it's gonna be juicy because of it's a ghost ship. It's under the Ghost Ship imprint. I am loving Seven Seas bringing out the steamship. I've pre-ordered all 4 of their new like steamy josei titles, so I cannot wait for that. Like, guaranteed they will be on my shelves. Like, is gonna happen. I know there's issues with the publisher at the moment, but I still want to support the workers of Seven Seas, so I'm gonna be continuing to pick up the series that I have already got and that I've pre-ordered, purely because I still want to support them regardless. I don't like the actual big bosses of the company because of what they're doing with the unions and everything, but the workers at the end of the day have put their love, sweat, like, you know, their love, sweat and tears into translating and editing all of these volumes, so I still want to support them and support the creator as well. So that's my piece on that. But yes, so happy that I've got this. So happy. Woo! I spent way too long talking about those 2 titles, so I'm going to try and speed through some of these ones. So next up is what have we got next? Yen Press. So a couple of these, well, one of these is kind of just a filler gap because it was cheap. Came Caitlin popped on our Manga Dudettes Discord that there was a random volume of this series going for cheap, so I picked it up, and that is volume 3 of Hatsuharu. Now this series is a romance from, I believe, the guy's perspective. I've only read the first volume because I couldn't find volume 2, so I'm going to be slowly picking this up as and when I can. They are yen press, so they are slightly on the more expensive side, but yeah, I will be picking this up as and when I can find them. I really enjoyed it from what I can remember. Then next up is a continuation of a series, and that is Cheeky Brat volume 2. Now I did enjoy volume 1, I read volume 2 and I have enjoyed it. This is a age gap romance, but the girl's only a year older than him, so would I really class it as an age gap? Is it a big deal for me? Not really. I know some people are totally turned off by that. Fine, fair play, that's you, you do you, I'ma do me, and I don't see that being an issue, particularly in this series. I found out that this series is like 20 something volumes long, so I'm definitely interested to see what actually happens to enable the series to go on for 20 something volumes. I mean, it's a romance centered around a basketball club with a younger guy from the basketball club crushing on the club manager. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they do to enable this to go on for 21 volumes. So yeah, definitely piqued my interest with 2 volumes. It's definitely more wordy than some of the other shoujos that I'm used to reading, but I really enjoy it, and I'm still convinced that I've read this online somehow, sometime years ago. I popped on Amazon because I wanted to treat myself and managed to find these next 2 volumes for like $7.99, and they're normally from $9.99 to $11.99, so $7.99 for me was a pretty big discount for me to be like, okay, I'll pull the trigger on that. And that is Golden Japanesque, a splendid Yokohama romance, volume 3 and volume 4. Now these covers are absolutely gorgeous. I really do like the setting in which this series is set. I think it's the Meiji era, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen next. Volume 4 for me left off on a cliffhanger. We've been introduced to another guy character, which could possibly be swaying our lead female's heart, because they've been separated, her and the main guy MC have been separated for a good few months for certain reasons, and he's definitely a character that could possibly sway her attention. So I'm super interested for volume 5 when it comes out. So next up is this giant stack of Kodansha stuff, and let me tell you, my Shoujo beat and my Viz Media is like 4 times that size, so. But first up is a shonen title, which I've been really surprised that I've actually really enjoyed. I did enjoy the first part of this series, but I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the second part. I didn't think the second part or the spin-off was going to be any good, but it turns out that it's pretty decent, and that is the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, or the 7 Deadly Sins 4 Nights of the Apocalypse volume 2. So this is set in the same world of 7 Deadly Sins. I'm not entirely sure if it's a direct spin-off or if it's just set within the world and the actual 7 Deadly Sins are going to have anything to do with this series. It's not really been made clear within the first couple of volumes. I don't know if when I read on it's going to make it a little bit better. I have no idea, but all I know is that I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to read more. So next is a absolutely beautiful vampire series, and that is Vampire Dormitory volume 3. I haven't actually read this volume yet. I was going to binge read the first 3 and then pick up the 4th one, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I do really enjoy it from what I've read so far. It's a vampire manga, guys. Of course I'm going to enjoy it. I love my vampire trash, so for me this was a no-brainer. But it's from the same creator as Missions of Love, and as you guys are probably aware from one of my other videos when I picked up the first 2 volumes, I did not enjoy Missions of Love. So I'm giving the creator a second chance with Vampire Dormitory, and so far, fingers crossed, it's been absolutely fine. But again, it's a kind of gender bendery vampire mess, and I'm here for it. So the next 3 volumes is from a series that I started to read on Kindle Unlimited when it was on there. Or did I purchase it? I think I purchased volume 1 for £1 during like the Valentine's Day Kodansha sale, and I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed volume 1, and I prayed to the manga gods that like they were going to give us a physical of this series, and they did. So bet your $1 I went out and picked out all 3 of the volumes, and that is volume 1, 2 and 3 of Lovesick Ellie. I really enjoy this series, and honestly, Ellie is literally, she's got my heart. Like, I love her so much. Like, she has all these like smutty fantasies going on in her head, and she doesn't care. She writes it on Twitter, and she really just doesn't give a crap, and I love that about her, because she reminds me of myself kind of in a weird way. It's because she obviously has her smutty fantasies and she likes to pop them out on Twitter. However, I like to pop mine out into the ether, not anonymously, on YouTube. Yay. But yeah, I really enjoy this series. I can't wait to see where this goes. I believe it's like 10 or 11 volumes, so it's not too much of a big investment, and I'm really loving this. Ellie's got my heart, and yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens with this series. So next up is a series that I managed to find for mega cheap, or part of a series that I've already started to collect. I managed to find for mega cheap for £3 a volume. In fact, I haven't even taken the stickers off because I've been too lazy. I totally forgot that they were still on there. And that is LDK, the 9, 10 and 11. I got these for £3 each from Dave's Comics in Brighton. So yeah, I am super happy to fill out some gaps in the collection. I haven't started reading my physicals. I think I've got, yeah, the first 2 I've got, and I haven't read them yet, but I know I'm going to really enjoy it because I read quite a bit of it online when I was younger. So I'm looking forward to bulking out my LDK collection. Talking about bulking out a collection, this was brought recently because I decided to treat myself, as I have been quite stressed. And I was just like, do you know what is a good way to settle those stress hormones in the body? And that is through reading. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, definitely treated myself that day when I was drunk. And that is the next 4 volumes of Living Room Matsunaga-san. So I picked up volume 7, 8, 9 and 10. I have read this. I kind of regret reading it until I have the last volume, which comes out in the UK in July, as long as it doesn't get pushed back. Volume 10 kind of left me a tad bit frustrated. I'm hoping it's not going to go the way that it could go, if that makes sense. I'm hoping that oh my god, what's her name, Miko ends up with Matsunaga-san. I hope that that is the thing and it's not going to drift off from that. I know a lot of people find this series extremely problematic because of the age gap. However, I feel like it's being dealt with really well in terms of the age gap is being addressed. Nothing untoward is happening. I really like this series, along with Takane and Hana. This is one of my favourite romances. I know this is going to be problematic for some people, but honestly I don't care. I really enjoy it. And I cannot wait for volume 11 to come out. And let's just say, guys, look at Matsunaga-san. Is he not one of the most cutest anime guys or manga guys ever? Because I think he is. He would be my second husbando after the dude from fire in his fingertips. They are both beautiful. I would take either of them any day. I'm just saying. Moving swiftly on. Next we have the Viz Media titles. I'm going to separate them into two categories. The first being shonen, I suppose, slash seinen. I think one of them's seinen. I honestly have no idea. First up for ongoing newer releases is volume 30 of My Hero Academia. I am completely up to date with this series now, with the chapters. I started rewatching the anime and got proper into it, because you guys know I fell off of it for quite a while, but I jumped straight back into the anime, and then when I finished watching everything up to date, I then jumped into the manga, and then once I read everything that I own physically, I then jumped onto the Shonen Jump app and then got completely up to date. The newest chapters are amazing. Like, oh my gosh, something that I thought was the case turned out to be the case without revealing anything. I hope that doesn't reveal anything. But oh my gosh, I'm just loving the new chapters of My Hero. I honestly wish that they would have extended the My Villain Academia, so the villain arc. I wish we would have got to know a lot more about the villains, but I know that that arc didn't do too well in Japan, so Hirokoshi had to, is it Hirokoshi? Hirokoshi, yeah, had to kind of shorten that part of the story quite a bit because it just wasn't doing too well, unfortunately. But I really am so glad that I got back on the My Hero train. Like, it's so great, and I can't wait for the new season to come out. I'm definitely going to be keeping up to date with the chapters because this is fire for me at the moment. I absolutely love it. Love. We're probably going to have a famous geeky drop soon because, like, the shelf is filling up. Moving on. I have another new release, and that is Spy Family, or Spy X Family Volume 7. Oh my gosh, I love this series so much. Anya must be protected at all costs. The anime is chef's kiss beautiful. Like, the animation, they have done such a stellar job with that series. Like, I am absolutely loving it. I even managed to get Reese to watch the first episode, and I think that he might want to watch more. I'm not entirely sure. I probably will have to confer with him later on, see if that is the case. But I'm in love with it. I think I'm going to stockpile a couple of these volumes before I jump back into this, because these seem to be coming out really slow, which is very unfortunate. I think I'm going to stockpile this and then kind of binge read it because this is so cute. I love this series so much, and if you are new to anime and manga, this is probably one of the best gateway series to get you into it. It's so wholesome. It's got a bit of everything in it, and I'm just really enjoying it. But I don't really have to say much about it because it's Spy Family and everybody loves Spy Family. Next up is a brand new series that has literally just been released in the UK, and that is Sakamoto Days Volume 1. I read the first chapter on the Shonen Jump app, and it kind of piqued my interest, plus the fact that I saw it all over Instagram and TikTok, and I was just like, and MangaTube as well, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cave with this one. I've picked up another long-running shonen title to add to the long-running shonen titles I already have. I'm definitely gonna regret this later on down the line. I'm already starting to run out of space, but I'm a sucker for a good action shonen, so it was kind of obvious at some stage I was probably going to pick this up. Whether or not I'm going to keep it is to be decided, but I'm going to go with it and see how I feel, give it a couple of volumes. I haven't read this volume yet because I've been busy with work. When I get some spare time, I will definitely sit down and give this a read, because it definitely looks interesting. The premise of a retired hitman and kind of being forced back into that line of work potentially, or trying to stop himself from being forced back into that line of work or something along those lines. Honestly, I'm probably chatting out my backside at this point. I have no idea what this series is about. I just know that I read chapter 1 and I quite liked it. End of. Let me know what you think about this series if you've read it down below, because I am yet to read the first full volume. Now, next is a series that I am so glad got an English release, and it is by the legend herself, Rumiko Takahashi, and that is Mao Volume 4. I've read the first 3 volumes of this and really enjoyed it, but again, it's a Rumiko Takahashi, so it's no surprise that I really genuinely did enjoy this series. I've got all of the Viz Bigs of Inuyasha, really enjoyed it, watched the anime, watched the first season on Netflix numerous times. This for me feels like a kind of retelling of Inuyasha, except for with a cat demon instead of a dog demon to a certain extent. There's no Shikon Jewel. They're just trying to find this cat demon that put a curse on our main character, Mao, and another character, I can't remember what her name is, but they're basically trying to find this demon to try and get rid of this curse that this cat demon's put them on. And it's just a really fun series. There's demons and yokai and folklore and mythology and all sorts of stuff like that, and it's just totally up my street, and it's a Rumiko Takahashi, and that's all I gotta say. I love it so much. I'm actually in the process of collecting Raye as well. I've got 3 volumes of that, but that's a long ass series. It's like 40 volumes long, so that's going to take me a while, but this is an ongoing one, so I'm definitely going to keep myself up to date with this, because yeah, Rumiko Takahashi, mwah, beautiful. So we're coming to the end of my shonen jump, seinen, whatever this one is, part, but the last one for we got 3 in 1. There you go. You've missed me for 3 months, so you get 3 book drops to make up for it. So the next one that I picked up was Alice in Borderland, the first omnibus. I believe this is a 2 in 1. Let me just talk about the actual print quality rather than the story. The story I really enjoyed. I know it's got a Japanese drama on Netflix. I haven't checked that out. I just didn't feel the need to, because I knew this was coming out, so I'd much rather get involved with the manga first, and I really enjoyed this. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely reminded me of a cross between Hunger Games and Squid Games to a certain extent, so I really enjoyed this first omnibus. However, I am not impressed with this print quality, like compared to, let's just say, a 20th Century Boys Perfect Edition 2-in-1s and the Monster 2-in-1s. This just doesn't, it's not the same. Now I'm paying, what, $15.99 full retail for this. I didn't pay $15.99, I think I paid like £11.20 something, I think, but I would not be happy to pay $15.99 for this. Like, it is super flimsy. It's just not great. I feel like it's already starting to get scuffs at the bottom, and I just don't feel like this is gonna stand up like the test of time compared to some of my other volumes. I know there was a rumour around people thinking that it was gonna be a hardcover. Honestly, I wish that it was, because I would gladly pay $15.99 for one of their Viz's hardcovers, because I feel like their JoJo's release, their Fist of the North Star release, their Revolutionary Girl Utena hardcover release were gorgeous, but this just, it doesn't feel like a $15.99 volume. It just doesn't, and honestly I'm a bit disappointed with Viz on their physical release, but I suppose with the demand of manga going up, they're having to, I don't know, outsource where they're getting their print done, and everything's going up because of what's going on in the world, so they're having to do things a bit more on the cheap, which I can respect that as a company, fine, but at the same time I would happily wait a little bit extra to get the print quality that I want. But yeah, that's kind of like my 2 cents on that. Sorry, I feel like I've just totally ragged on this. I didn't mean to like bring this like down. But yeah, I was just a bit disappointed in the actual print quality itself, but nonetheless I really enjoyed this first volume. I love the fact that we've got the covers from both volumes on the front, and the next volume I've pre-ordered because I really did enjoy it. So yeah, if you're looking for a series cross between Hunger Games and Squid Games, this is definitely the series to go for. So next is Shoujo B. Now I have got a crap ton of Shoujo B stuff. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of this was second hand. I just managed to pop on eBay and just randomly search this particular series or a certain particular series, and there was a good chunk of it for less than £5 a piece, and for the length of series that it was, I was just like, yep, I've been interested in it for a while. I read a good chunk of the manga online when I was in my teens, and I really want to actually own the physicals, so yeah, I picked them up. But before I get to the more older stuff, let me jump into the more newer relevant stuff that have been released, and the first being Imikoi Volume 1. Oh my gosh, I really enjoyed this series. I'm not gonna lie, this first volume was beautiful. Like, I love our main guy. I think his name is Yagu. Yeah, Yagu. He's so cool. Like, I love how they're just so chill with their relationship. Like, it's just, he's not being overly forceful with her. He's just being a genuinely nice guy, and she's just kind of fallen for him, and he's not kind of sure if he is like in love with her, but he's just like, oh well, might as well give it a go, see what happens. And he's becoming more interested in her kind of as the volume progressed, but it just seemed like a really natural kind of relationship, high school kind of relationship. So I'm definitely interested to see where this series goes. I know that Meet the Wee family done a video on this, I believe it was. I don't know if they done, I can't remember exactly if it was a video directly for this or if it was in one of their haul videos, but Meet the Weeb Mum definitely explained better about this series than I can. Like, the way she put it was definitely like spot on. But yeah, it's a really well done first volume, and I cannot wait for volume 2. I have pre-ordered it. So yeah, that is Imikoi. I'm in love. Next is a smutty good mess, and that is Yakuza Lover volume 4. This is not for everybody. For a lot of people it lacks for a lot of people it lacks substance in terms of storyline. However, I'm here for it. I love a good smutty trash manga, and this is definitely it for me. Like the Yakuza, and yeah, I just really love this series. I cannot wait for volume 5. I've been told that kind of like you get more substance the further you get into the series, so I'm definitely interested to see what they are meaning by that. I'm interested to see if our main character Yuri actually becomes more feisty, and she's not just a yes oya, no oya, oh oya kind of character, and she actually becomes like, projects out like this Yakuza female boss bitch. Like, I'd absolutely love that, because to the start of the series she looks like somebody that could handle herself quite well, but as the series progressed she's kind of turned into a little snowflake, and it's kind of annoyed me because she had that little like bit of bite to her as a character at the start of the series, and like it's just kind of like melted away. And I honestly hope that through the next few volumes that she starts to get that backbone boss bitch kind of persona back again, but who knows. I'm only on volume 4. I can't wait to see where it goes. I believe there's like 9 volumes out in Japan at the moment. Don't quote me, tell me if I'm wrong down below, because honestly I don't keep track of the Japanese releases, but I'm really excited to see where this goes, because it's just one of my sit back, relax, don't give a shit kind of series. It's just, yeah, it's my chill series, even though it's not exactly chill. So next is volume 35 of Yona of the Dawn. Oh my god, I am full blown in love with this series. I don't remember if it was last month or the month before. I binge read a crap ton of this series. I think from volume 20, 21-ish to 34, and it reaffirmed its status as one of my favourite shoujo mangas, like, ever. This series is everything that I want in a shoujo. I love the fantasy elements of the dragons, the historical elements, the romance, the fact that Yona is an actual decent female lead. She's not a snowflake. She may have started off as one, but she was a princess in a palace who was very much sheltered, and she was thrust out into this world because something very awful happened to her and she had to deal with it like straight away, and that was a lot to deal with being a young teen, and then going out into the world trying to fend for herself, trying to make allies and friends and deal with what's going on with the grief and loss of her father and everything else. Like, it's amazing. I literally love this series. I love the artwork, the story. This series is one of my favourite shoujos, hands down. It does remind me a tad of Fushigi Yugi by Yu Watase, just a smidge, with the kind of setting. Fushigi Yugi, I suppose it's an isekai, like our main character was isekai'd to the world in a book and has to find like celestial warriors to become the priestess and whatnot. So it's different because it's kind of like you get isekai'd into a world, but it's not at the same time, because you've got these celestial beings that are there to protect her, which is kind of like what the 4 dragons are to Yona. So it kind of reminds me of that. However, this is definitely done better. The main female character from Fushigi Yugi, Mysterious Place, so the first part, really pissed me off. I did not like her, particularly in the anime, but in the manga it was different because I didn't have to listen to her whiny ass voice. But anyway, I digress. This is amazing. I haven't read this volume yet because I'm going to stockpile a couple of these because they don't come out too often, and then binge them again, because I definitely feel this series is better off binged rather than volume to volume, because honestly I read one volume and if it ends I'm like, give me more, like I become psycho. But but no, this is amazing, definitely recommend. Then we have another volume 1. I'm hoping that I haven't actually showed you guys this. I feel like I may have done, but I can't remember, so fingers crossed I haven't. But that is volume 1 of Anonymous Noise. I haven't read this volume yet, but I have watched the anime on Amazon. I think it was on Amazon Prime, and I really enjoyed it. So it kind of left with a cliffhanger. Well, not a cliffhanger, but it didn't really leave me very satisfied after I watched the actual manga. Sorry about that, guys. I think somebody with a very loud motorbike just rode past my house. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I feel like the anime wasn't very satisfying in terms of where it ended. There was things that was left out. Maybe want to find out more about what's actually going on. It just wasn't very, the ending just wasn't great. It just kind of left it and it was just like, there you go, all done. And I was just really interested to find out what actually happened. So I'm going to slowly pick these up as and when they come back into stock on Traveling Man, because I believe they're like $4.99, $5.50. They're like mega cheap on Traveling Man. So as soon as they start to come back into stock, I will be piecing together this series, or if I see them on eBay mega cheap, I'm gonna pick them up. But yeah, the one thing I have noticed though, the actual manga art is kind of, I don't know, everything's very sharp and like pointy and very much elongated, and it kind of looks very bizarre compared to the anime. So I think it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to this style of this style of manga art, but we'll see. But I'm really interested to see what happens, because yeah, the anime left me unsatisfied. So next up is a series that I'm definitely unsure about. I feel like I discussed it with Tiffany and Caitlin, and we are kind of on the same wavelengths with this, kind of. This basically is my version of Himiko's or Tiffany's Prince Freya. She absolutely hated it, whereas it's not that I hate this series, it does not float my boat, but I'm kind of curious because this particular volume left off as kind of like, what's going on? And that is volume 2 of Rose and Blood. Now, Caitlin from Kate Tinsdale's Manga said that this only has, I think it's 5 or 6 volumes, so I'm gonna finish the series because it's only 5 volumes and I've already got 2, so I'm like, I'm almost halfway there, I might as well finish it. Volume 1 had me all kind of confused. I was just like, what the heck is going on? We've literally landed in a mansion with 4, 5 sexy vampire boys, but with no explanation why can't this girl leave the mansion? What's all this random crap going on? Like, I literally have no idea. And then volume 2 kind of started off pretty much the same way as volume 1 ended, but then it kind of got a little bit more interesting. One of the vampire dudes seems to be an absolute asshole, and I'm kind of curious as to why. He kind of does something to Stella and then kind of shit hits the fan. I'm kind of interested in what are these vampire boys. There's obviously something more to it than they're just vampire boys, so that part of me is kind of intrigued. But overall, it's not one of my favourite shoujos that are being released right now. I could easily just put this on a shelf and not really think about it. It's not something that I'm like, give me the next volume, like, I need to have it now. It's like, definitely not. It's definitely like, meh. I can like put it down. It really doesn't bother me. But as I say, I will be picking up the last 3 volumes just to finish it. Will this stay in the collection? I honestly have no idea. I won't know until I finished it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below of this series, and because I would definitely be interested. It's just, don't get me wrong, the art style is absolutely stunning. I think that's probably one of the only things that's keeping me going. Like, look, the art style is absolutely gorgeous, but the story, it's just not kind of like, and I love some vampire trash, but like, there's vampire trash and then there's vampire trash, and this is like vampire trash. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Moving on, I've got some volumes that finishes off a collection for me, which I am super happy about, because it's by one of my favourite authors, and that is Raye Tomer. So in my order with Living Room Matsunaga-san, I did chuck these in as well because I was stressed and I have no self-control, basically. I've got issues. So I picked up volumes 9. Oh wait, no, I'm missing some. Where have they gone? Bear with. So I picked up volumes 2, 4, 5, 6. No, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I got them all right. Apparently I don't know how to count. But yeah, I picked up the rest of the volumes for the Water Dragon's Bride. I've read volume 1. I reread volume 1 and I just haven't sat down to finish the rest. I really enjoyed the first couple of volumes of Dawn of the Arcana, so I'm on the hunt for the next few volumes of those. I think I'm missing 5, 6, 8 and 9. Oh my gosh, I thought I had 8. Apparently I got that wrong. Yes, so I'm missing 5, 6, 8 and 9, so 4 volumes, and unfortunately they are the more difficult ones to find, so I will be picking those up as and when I find them and they come back into stock. But yeah, I really enjoyed the King's Beast. Like last month I went on a binge and read all 5 volumes of that, so that kind of got me back into Raye Tomer's works, and I am so glad that it did, because honestly Raye Tomer has some of the most beautiful art I have ever seen in manga, and the whole how she does fantasy is like peak. Like I really really enjoy her fantasy telling and her stories in general, so I'm really excited to see what this series is truly about. I believe our young female character with the red hair here falls into a lake and then gets transported to an alternative world where she then gets sacrificed to become the water dragon's bride. And from volume 1, the actual god himself is kind of a douchebag, so I'm interested to see if it's going to be like from enemies to lover kind of thing, or if she's going to end up with the guy on the front, which I kind of hope she does, because like he tries to save her after she's been sacrificed and dives into the water and pulls out all these skeletons from previous sacrificial girls or previous sacrifices. So yeah, I'm kind of wanting her to be with him. I don't think that's gonna happen, because that's never the way, but we can only dream. Let me know what you guys think of this series. Have you enjoyed it? Let me know down below. Let me know if there's any Raye Tomer series that haven't been translated to English and given a physical release, because I would honestly like to know, because her along with Ayosaki Saga probably have to be some of my favourite current mangakas for shoujo manga right now. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, the next 5 series are definitely older shoujo ones. So this was kind of me not living my shoujo nostalgic life or anything, because I didn't actually start reading shoujo or manga in general till like 2009, so these were out way before then, I believe, or started coming out way before then, and definitely went under my radar for quite a long time. But I've been seeing a couple of these series popping up on eBay, and I was just like, do you know what, I see this in a lot of manga shoujo collections, specifically on Instagram and on TikTok, not necessarily so much on MangaTube, because there's not many of us shoujo fans specifically on MangaTube that I'm aware of. Let me know if you're one of those shoujo lovers and have a collection with these in down below, because I would definitely like to check out you guys' channels. But I saw this and I was just like, it's only 4 volumes complete, so I might as well get the first 2 and then see what I think. And it's by a mangaka that I really enjoyed an anime for, and I have the entire collection in box set form, and that is Bisco Hattori. So I picked up volume 1 and volume 2 of Millennium Snow. Again, I believe this is about vampires, so obviously I was interested, and the fact that it's by Bisco Hattori, I'm really excited to actually see what this series is about. I believe this one was started before Ouran High School Host Club, though don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this was started before Ouran, and then she came back to this after Ouran had finished to give it a final 2 volumes. So I will be on the hunt for the singles and finishing off this collection very soon, and then binge reading it, because I'm definitely interested to see what this series is about. So next up was an eBay steal. I literally got this for like, I think it must have been like £2-3, and that is volume 4 of Here Is Greenwood. Now I've got the first 2 volumes and I believe it's only 8 volumes long, so I'm missing 5 volumes. This series is particularly hard to come by. The only time that I've seen them recently, they have been like between 50, anything from 15 to 20 to 30 pounds plus, and I was just like, for like £3, £2 to £3, this little bit of yellowing, considering its age, isn't a big deal for me. I honestly don't care. So I'm definitely interested to see what this is about. Again, I'm gonna wait to have all of them to give it a read. I believe it's kind of, I don't know if it's a slice of life, boarding house, romance kind of situation. I'm not entirely sure, because I haven't actually started it yet, but the art style is really, really old school, and I kind of like that. I'm on an kind of 2000 shoujo beat kind of moment. I'm living my 2000 shoujo beat moment life right now. Not that it's nostalgic for me, because I never started reading back then, but for me, I wanted to go back and read some of the hidden gems that I've probably missed out on. So that's what I'm currently doing, is going back and picking up some of really older shoujo series that I don't see many people have too much of, and this just happens to be one of them. So whenever I see them for a decent price on eBay, I'm just going to snap them up. Next up is a good chunk of a series that I have been curious about for the longest time. I keep seeing it pop up every now and again on manga TikTok, so I was definitely interested. Again, this is another older shoujo beat title, and I got all of these for, I believe, all of them below retail. Some were secondhand and the others were like £5 a piece, so below retail. And that is volumes 1 through 11 of Tale of the Moon. Now I know that there's a prequel to this, or a sequel. I'm not entirely sure whether it's a prequel or a sequel, but it definitely looked interesting to me. I believe it's a romance about following a young girl that's married into a different ninja clan or something. I don't really know exactly what the premise is, but I've seen it in a lot of collections on TikTok, and the art style looks really cute and very 2000s, like 90s 2000s stuff, which I'm very much used to reading. So I was definitely interested, and Reese, bless him, he found like 4 or 5 volumes in Eastbourne when he went a little while ago, and it was just like an odd comic shop that he'd never been to, but he was just like, I'm just gonna go check out this comic book store if there's anything there. And I was like, yes, please do. And he found them, so I was really happy, and they were £5 a piece. However, he didn't notice, but this one has, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has a massive tear in the front cover, so I will be replacing this when I can, but for now it's good enough to read because I've got the first 11 volumes, sorry. I will be picking up the rest as and when I can find them. As of right now, I don't think the volumes that I'm missing are too expensive. They are pretty much retail or close to retail, so I'm not too bothered about that. If it's like £1 or £1 over retail, running out of space. If it's like £1 or something over retail, I'm not going to be too bothered about it, and there's not too many volumes left to really cost too much, considering I got it quite the rest of the series. Considering I got rest of the series quite cheap, so yeah, I'm not too bothered about it. Once I finished it, the first chunk of it, I'm going to binge read it because that seems to be the theme as of current months. We're almost done, guys. If you have stuck around this far, thank you so much. But we've only got two more series left. So the first is only a volume 1. Now I've been seeing this everywhere on manga Instagram, on manga TikTok, on manga YouTube, but mostly on manga TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, this was definitely influenced from manga TikTok. I kind of hate myself for being influenced so much because I know this is gonna be an absolute nightmare to track down. But volume 1 came up for sale on Book Depository for like £5 something, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to try out volume 1, see how I feel, and then I'm going to slowly piece together the rest of the series when they start to come back into stock, because this series is heavily out of stock. Like when I mean like out of stock, I mean it is gone out of stock. Like as soon as it's on the shelves, it's fucking gone. And I know a couple of people, when they saw my manga collection tour, they were like, oh, where is this series? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to collect it. But I caved, guys. I caved and picked up volume 1 of Nana. I believe I've watched a bit of the anime before. It feels like something that I've seen and watched a bit of. I cannot remember because I've seen so many back when I was a teenager. I just used to stay up late and watch loads of random fucking anime online. So I feel like I've definitely seen some of this before. But I don't remember exactly what it's about. But I've heard that it's such a great series about 2 girls named Nana and how like they kind of randomly meet and then kind of their friendship, I suppose, or it follows 2 separate Nanas and their lives, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember. Don't quote me on this. I'm literally trashing out on my backside. I'm literally spewing rubbish right now. But it just seemed really interesting, like something that would be somewhat up my street. The art style is gorgeous. I definitely want to get Paradise Kiss now because looking at the art style, it's like, it's absolutely stunning. So that will probably be on one of my hauls coming up sometime in the near future. When it comes back into the stock into the UK. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in this. I hope you guys are happy now. Now that you've been like, where's Nana? You need to get it. So I hope you guys are happy. I will definitely let you guys know when I've read this volume as to what I think of it. Although I feel like I need to give this a couple of volumes to know whether or not I'm going to really enjoy it. But I trust Tiffany's opinion, and I know she likes this series and she's got the entire collection, so I trust that if it's still in her collection and she hasn't sold it, that it's decent. So I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this. So last but not least is a chonker of a chunk of a series. Now this is definitely probably going to be the longest running shoujo title that I will have in my collection, dependent on how far Yona actually goes. And this was most definitely influenced by TikTok, by Sweat and Soap Laura and Skippy Seth. Like, this was heavily influenced by them, and they just made me want to revisit this series. I read a crap ton of it online when I was in my teens, and I have seen the anime and have really enjoyed it. So I thought, sod it, bite the bullet, let's get a big chunk. And honestly, I paid no more than like £5 for this series, and all of this has been secondhand, but I managed to pick up all of this of Skip Beat. And let me just run through the actual front covers if I can. There are quite a few of this, but yeah, I think the most I paid was like £5.50, which was for volume 1, and everything else has been like under £4. I think I was super lucky with this bunch online. Like, they are all used and they all came in really good condition. I'm not gonna lie, some of them were slightly yellowed, but for like £2, £3, £4, like, I'm definitely not going to complain about that, considering how long the series is, and some of the volumes are a bit harder to find because there's like 46 bloody volumes. So yeah, I am so excited to get into this. Like, Kyoko is one of my favourite female leads from what I can remember. She is so funny. Yeah, some of them have got these giant 3 for 2 stickers on. I just can't be bothered to take them off right now. I don't have the right tools to take them off without leaving any of the sticker gunk behind. So yeah, sorry about that. There are a couple of volumes with that on. But yeah, I am super excited to dive into this. I think I'm going to fill in the gaps up to volume 20 and then binge it. So I've got up to volume 6. So I've got 1 through 6, 12, 14, 17, 18. This cover's pretty sick, to be fair. 19. Another cute cover. Kyoko just looks super cute. 30. Then we do a massive jump to 37, 38, and nope, 39, sorry, 39, apparently I can't count, and 40. So yeah, I am so happy to finally be starting my skip beat journey. As I say, I really enjoyed the manga from what I remember. The anime is super funny. Kyoko is hilarious. Basically, her boyfriend, this is from what I can remember, I could be completely wrong about this, from what I can remember, basically her boyfriend dumps her but has used her for her money for months, and he dumps her to join the entertainment industry to become an actor. So basically she wants to get her revenge, so she decides to then join the entertainment industry and become an actress. And it's hilarious because she then confronts her ex-boyfriend. He doesn't recognise her, and it's so funny, the shenanigans that Kyoko gets up to, along with the main guy character. I think his name is, what's his name? Is it Ren or something? I can't remember. I literally cannot remember his name, but like their dynamic between the two characters is hilarious. So I am super excited to get involved with this series again. I'm probably gonna end up picking up the anime at some point because honestly it's so funny. I wish they'd done a second season and continued it, but you know, the anime studios really do not like shoujo manga. So that was my accumulative haul for the past 3 months. I'm definitely not going to leave it another 3 months next time. For a haul video. This has taken way too long, much longer than I wanted it to be, but yeah, I hope you guys are happy and healthy and have been doing well. Hopefully it won't be too long until my next video, so if you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to give this video a like, comment and subscribe, and check out all my links down below in the description box. Check out the Manga Dude Discord and all that stuff. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.